Hi Fit Factor fanatics and Fit Factor friends. I am Clarissa and I am coming to you live on Facebook from the Fit Factor studio in the heart of downtown Alhambra. If you're not familiar with Alhambra or the greater Los Angeles area, we are just about 10 or 15 minutes from downtown LA. So if you're ever in the area, make sure that you look us up and come and get a great workout with us. And if you have not already connected with us on our other social media pages, please find us also at the Fit Factor Studio on Instagram as well. And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Clarissa Guru Fit, G-U-R-O-O. Rue is my nickname. So anyway, okay, so today what we're going to be talking about in this discussion is pain. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I think that pain gets a bad rap. And so I would like to open up a discussion with you to possibly change or shift your perspective a little bit on pain. A lot of the people that I speak with about pain, and even with my own experience, I think that there are many of us who fear pain, so much so that we will do anything to avoid painful situations, whether it's a place or a relationship or even a song that comes on the radio that brings up feelings of pain. Most of us will avoid those things at all costs because the fear of that is too great, and I completely understand that. But what I would like to challenge you today with is just shifting that perspective the slightest bit, even through the fear of whatever it is, whatever pain that is in your life. And pain comes in all shapes and sizes. And I'm not really talking about the kind of pain that enters your life like a natural disaster that you have nothing to do with and can control in no way whatsoever. I'm talking about the kind of pain that presents itself to you that implies that something is wrong in your lifestyle or our lifestyle, something is wrong, that something either needs to stop happening or that something maybe needs to start happening. Whatever it is, the pain itself is not necessarily bad. And so that's what I'm trying to kind of get at that little shift. So don't approach the pain with fear, but approach the pain as the universe or your God or your body trying to give you an opportunity to educate yourself. Pain can be our greatest teacher. Sometimes it comes to us in a little whisper and we don't really pay attention. We pop in a leaf and we keep right on going. I'm talking about physical pain right now, but there's also emotional pain and spiritual pain, and we'll get to that as well. But you know, sometimes, like I said, it comes to us in a whisper. We ignore it. We distract ourselves. We avoid dealing with that little whisper, and then it gets a little louder, and then it gets a little louder, and then it gets louder, and then eventually you're on the sideline. You're having surgery over something that probably could have been avoided if you had addressed the issue back in the beginning. And so that's what I'm kind of trying to get to today. So again, pain being one of our greatest teachers. The alternative of facing our pain is basically the equivalent of, like I said before, avoiding, distracting, ignoring, sticking your head in the sand and just letting your brain atrophy. Yeah? That is basically what happens when we don't face our pain or our fear of pain. Here's the flip side, the alternative to that. If you are experiencing pain in some way, what if you looked it straight in the eye? What if you looked right at it and you started asking questions? You started seeking out knowledge from people who are smarter than you, and then you access your creativity to problem solve so that you're not sidelined with the surgery, when you could have probably just taken a couple days off or made a little adjustment back at the beginning. It's possible. I speak of that from experience. It's what's happening with me right now in my shoulders. I didn't listen for 3 years something going on in my shoulders. And this is a very physical thing. This is an alignment issue of something that I've been doing 10% too far for about 3 years, going into a hyperextended mode. And it's taken a toll. And it tried to let me know a while back, and I just kind of ignored it. I was distracted with other things. I avoided it. And now I'm really dealing with some stuff going on in my shoulders that didn't have to come to this point. So that's a physical pain that is teaching me a lesson about a very real situation in my life. And for me, I think to myself, the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. Pink Ninja talked about this last week when she was talking about how being committed to certain things, are you signing up and not showing up to classes, how does that seep into the rest of your life? And I feel that same way when I talk about my shoulders and this physical issue and my shoulders going 10% too far in a posture. Where else is that happening in my life? And so pain becomes a great teacher for me in that moment. So the point being, are you experiencing pain, and what are you doing with it? My hope for you is that you can approach it, fear or not, even if you have fear, be courageous and approach it anyway. It's like walking into a room and just turning on the light. Just turn on the light. It's not all that scary. And it's only going to get worse if you just leave the light off and don't have any idea what's really going on in that scary dark room. It's the same idea. So approach pain. It's not a bad thing. Approach it as an opportunity to learn, to get smarter, to access your creativity, to ask questions, to seek knowledgeable people. And chances are you probably are going to end up growing and thriving from the situation more than not. So that's it. I think that's, let me just see. Okay, no questions yet. Some of you, these are just my own personal thoughts. This is just coming from my head, and some of it may mean something to you. It might spark something in you. Maybe you have already come to some of these conclusions on your own, and we would love to hear from you. Enter your comments down below and let us know what your experience with pain and facing pain, and how you come out on the other end smarter and more wise and maybe even braver than going in. So that is my hope for you today. I hope that you were able to take something away from this Facebook Live. Thank you so much. And just so you know, on Wednesdays, not only is it Hump Day, but it's Wednesday Warrior for us here at the Fit Factor Studio. So on Wednesdays, we put out a blog on our social media that is exactly what I talk about in the Facebook Live. We just talk a little bit more about the blog that we put out. So today's blog, again, about pain, facing it bravely, and coming out on the other side, hopefully having learned something and having grown, and most important, being able to pass that knowledge and that wisdom and that compassion on to somebody else. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you guys next month. Make sure you find us on social media and live fully. Bye. Thanks so much.